Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Margaret.
And we are the children's pastors at Summit Christian Church. Hope you are all doing well and staying safe. This week at church, we are going to be having two services, one at 9 a.m. and the other at 11 a.m. At the 11 a.m. service, we will be having childcare and having a great time. So we hope to see you all there. And you know what? Bring a friend. We'd love to have them.
That would be great. Hey, do you remember how we told you that Jesus used parables to make it easier to understand? Well, this week we're going to hear about a parable that talks about faith as small as a mustard seed. And our PowerPoint this week is Lord, increase our faith. So let's listen to Pastor Mike as he talks about a story that's going to really help us increase our faith.
All right. Hey guys, we're talking about faith this week, and one of my favorite stories in the Bible is David and Goliath. And here you've got this little boy and this big giant, and this little boy is going to fight this big giant, and if that doesn't take faith, I don't know what would. But that little boy didn't have any problems going against that giant. You know why? Because he had faith. And we're going to talk to you about that story probably in the next couple of weeks. But I want to tell you another story. I had some friends that were in Bible college, and they were all there. And some of them, they were married, and they had a lot of married couples. And one day, this little girl comes up to their door, and he knocks on the door, and they said, can you help me? And so they walked out the door, and we're talking to the little girl, and they said, well, what's wrong? She goes, let me show you. And so they walked to the side of the road, and right there in the road, they could clearly see that there was a bird there. Now, the bird was in the road, and it had been run over numerous times. And it was flat as a pancake. My friends looked at the little girl and said, well, what do you want to do? And she said, I want to pray. And they looked at her, and they said, well, you want to pray? And she goes, yeah, I want to pray. She goes, I was learning about faith in school, and we were talking about, how faith, you can do anything. And so she says, I want to pray for the bird. Well, my friends, of course, they were kind of skeptical, and they kind of looked at her and said, well, what are we going to do? Or what can we say? And she's just kept implying to say, please, let's just pray. Now they knew the bird was dead. It had been run over. But they let her. They looked both ways to make sure there were no cars coming. And the little girl went over, and she took both of her hands, and she put it on top of the bird. And she said a prayer. Now, it wasn't a big prayer. It wasn't something like a pastor would do. But it was just kind of a prayer that a little girl would do. She had been reading her Bible, and she was talking about faith. And she heard about the mustard seed, and she said, I have at least that much. So she took both of her hands and she put them on the bird, and she began to pray. And she prayed and she prayed and she prayed. Now my friends were right behind her, and they were trying to keep their faith, but they kept saying, what are we going to do? When she raises her hands, the bird's still going to be dead, because their faith for that bird wasn't near what that little girl's was. The little girl finished her prayer, and she took both of her hands off, and to everyone's surprise, the bird flew away. That little girl is much like the mustard seed and the mulberry bush. If you say it, and it's in God's name, it'll do it. You just need to have faith.
Wow, we want to increase our faith, right?
We sure do. And our memory verse is going to help us this week. Our memory verse is found in Luke 17:6. The Lord answered, if you have faith as big as a mustard seed, you can say unto the mulberry tree, pull yourself up by your roots and plant yourself in the sea. And you know what? It would obey you.
Great verse. Well, this week we want to increase our faith. And did you know that without faith, it's impossible to please God? So we really want to increase our faith.
That's right.
So one way we can do this is by listening to the worship music by Yancy. So let's do that now.
All right.
Hello, it's me, Funny Man Dan. A delivery for me from my friend Yancy. It's lunchtime, so there's only one thing this could possibly be. What? It just says press play.
I get hungry.
Yes, I get hungry.
Hungry.
Especially when I don't get sent food.
I get hungry for more of you, God.
What?
I get thirsty.
Me too.
Thirsty.
Often around lunchtime.
I get thirsty.
Hang
for
on.
more of you, God.
How can you drink God?
When I hear your word, my faith will grow. I wanna know you more from my head to my toes. When I hear your word, my faith will grow. I wanna know you more from my head to my toes. I get hungry for more of you.
I get it.
Hungry.
We're not talking about food.
I get hungry for more of you, God.
We're hungry for more of God.
I get thirsty.
Not thirsty for water,
Thirsty.
but for more of God.
I get thirsty for more of you, God.
I wanna know you more.
Every time I pray, my spirit gets strong. I wanna hear your voice speak to me all day long. Every time I pray, my spirit gets strong. I wanna hear your voice speak to me all day long. I get hungry,
So very hungry.
hungry.
Not for
I
cheeseburgers.
get hungry for more of you, God.
You're the best stew ever.
Thirsty,
So very thirsty.
thirsty,
But not for
I get
milkshakes.
thirsty for more of you, God.
I want God all the
I
time.
get hungry,
I'm so hungry.
thirsty,
So very
I
thirsty.
get hungry for more of you, God.
Great song, Yancy. Now can we please get some lunch?
Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. So clap your hands and wave your arms, play the drums, and then rock the guitar. So clap your hands and wave your arms. You can play the drums and then rock the guitar. We sing Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord. So clap your hands and wave your arms, play the drums, and then rock the guitar. Oh, clap your hands and wave your arms. You can play the drums and then rock the guitar. We sing Hosanna,
great songs, right?
That last one, I think, was my favorite.
For more information, you can go to our website at summitchristianchurch.org, then like and hit subscribe.
Well, thank you for joining this week, and have a great week.
Bye.